Ever wondered how a single hacker can take down an entire website? Welcome to the world of cyber warfare, where battles are fought not with bullets but with bits and bytes. One of the most potent weapons in a hacker's arsenal is the DDoS attack, or distributed denial of service. Now you might be wondering, what on earth is DDoS? Well, let's break it down. DDoS stands for distributed denial of service. The distributed part hints at the many sources of internet traffic involved in these attacks. The denial of service part? Well, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's a deliberate attempt to interrupt the normal functioning of a network, service, or website. Imagine the internet as a highway. Data packets are the vehicles, zooming along at lightning speed. Now imagine if an army of trucks suddenly flooded the highway, all heading towards a single exit. That exit, in this case, represents a website or online service. The sudden influx of trucks or data packets overwhelms the exit, causing a bottleneck. This is the essence of a DDoS attack. These attacks are carried out by hackers who control networks of compromised computers known as botnets. Each botnet is like a swarm of worker bees, all following the orders of the queen bee, in this case, the hacker. When the hacker commands, the botnets spring into action, flooding the target with a deluge of internet traffic. This flood can be so overwhelming that it effectively shuts down the target, preventing legitimate users from accessing the service or website. It's like trying to find a parking spot at a popular concert or sports event. With so many people vying for the same limited space, chaos ensues. So when a DDoS attack hits, it's like a traffic jam clogging up a street, preventing the regular flow of vehicles. In the digital realm, that traffic jam can bring an entire network to its knees, disrupting services and wreaking havoc. That's the power of a DDoS attack. So, you might be thinking, how does DDoS play into hacking? Well, let's dive into the murky waters of cybercrime and find out. DDoS, or distributed denial of service attacks, are like the thunderous distractions in a magician's performance. They're loud, chaotic, and designed to draw your attention away from the real trick. In a DDoS attack, a hacker overwhelms a system with a flood of traffic, causing it to slow down or even crash. But here's the kicker. While the security teams are scrambling to restore service, the real mischief is often happening behind the scenes. This is where DDoS becomes a valuable tool for hackers. While the system is distracted, they might be quietly infiltrating the network, stealing sensitive data, or installing malicious software. And by the time the DDoS attack is mitigated, the hacker could be long gone, leaving behind a trail of digital destruction. Consider a DDoS attack as a smokescreen. It's the perfect distraction, a diversion that allows hackers to sneak past the metaphorical security guards and into the vault. In the world of cybercrime, it's a common tactic used to commit more sinister acts, like data breaches. Now you might think that a company under a DDoS attack would notice something amiss. However, the sheer volume of the DDoS attack can be so overwhelming that it becomes difficult to distinguish between the noise and the actual threat. And here's another twist. Sometimes hackers will launch a small-scale DDoS attack as a test run. They're probing the defenses, looking for vulnerabilities and planning for a larger, more damaging attack in the future. In essence, a DDoS attack is a hacker's magic trick, a sleight of hand in the digital world. It's a deceptive tactic, a feint that creates an opening for the real attack to take place. And the worst part? By the time you realize what's happening, it might be too late. So, to sum it up, DDoS attacks are more than just a nuisance. They're a strategic tool used by hackers to distract, confuse, and ultimately breach your defenses. It's the digital equivalent of a magician's smoke and mirrors. Just as there are different kinds of hacking techniques, DDoS attacks also come in various forms. Let's start with the most common type, volumetric attacks. These are the brute force of DDoS attacks, aimed at overwhelming a network's bandwidth. Picture a highway filled with so much traffic that legitimate cars can't get through. Volumetric attacks are like a convoy of semi-trucks hogging all the lanes, making it impossible for other users to access a network or service. Next up, we have protocol attacks. These are more cunning, exploiting weaknesses in a network's protocols, the rules that govern how data is sent and received. Think of protocols as the traffic laws on our highway. A protocol attack might involve sending packets that cause confusion or traffic jams, disrupting the flow of data and causing crashes. These attacks often target the infrastructure of a network, like routers or firewalls, with the intention of consuming their resources. Last but certainly not least, we have application layer attacks. These are the most devious of the bunch, targeting specific applications or services within a network. Going back to our highway analogy, imagine a car that looks legitimate but upon closer inspection is filled with a swarm of bees. Application layer attacks are like these bee-filled cars. They appear as normal traffic, but once they reach their target, they unleash chaos, overwhelming the application and causing it to slow down or even stop functioning. These three types of DDoS attacks, volumetric, protocol, and application layer, each have their own unique characteristics, but they all share a common goal: to disrupt, distract, and cause havoc. Understanding these different types of DDoS attacks can give us valuable insight into how they operate and how we might protect ourselves against them. Knowing the enemy's tactics is half the battle won. Now that we know what we're up against, how do we stop these attacks? The question of the hour indeed. A distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS, can be a cyber nightmare, but there are ways to fortify your systems and prevent these attacks. Firstly, let's consider the concept of redundancy. In the world of cybersecurity, redundancy isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a safeguard. By building redundant networks and servers, you create multiple pathways for your traffic. If one pathway is under attack, the traffic can be redirected to another, keeping your system up and running. Think of it as a city with multiple bridges. If one bridge goes down, the city doesn't come to a standstill. Traffic is simply rerouted through another bridge. Next, we have securing your infrastructure. This involves keeping all your systems, software, and applications up to date with the latest patches and security updates. Regular audits of your network can help identify any potential vulnerabilities that could be exploited in a DDoS attack. It's also crucial to ensure that your firewalls and intrusion detection systems are robust and properly configured. Now let's talk about DDoS protection services. These services provide an extra layer of security, specifically designed to mitigate DDoS attacks. They work by identifying and filtering out DDoS traffic before it reaches your network. These services can be cloud-based or on-premises, depending on your needs and resources. Some of these services even offer round-the-clock monitoring, giving you an extra set of eyes on your network at all times. So preventing DDoS attacks involves a combination of redundancy, securing your infrastructure, and implementing DDoS protection services. It's about building a fortress with multiple lines of defense. Remember, DDoS attacks are designed to overwhelm and disrupt, but with the right measures in place, you can keep your systems protected and operational. Prevention is always better than cure, especially in cybersecurity. It's not just about responding to attacks, but proactively preventing them. And that's how we can stop DDoS attacks in their tracks. Let's take a moment to look back at what we've learned about DDoS attacks. A DDoS, or distributed denial of service attack, is a malicious attempt to disrupt the regular functioning of a network, service, or website by overwhelming it with a flood of internet traffic. These attacks are one of the many tools in the hacker's toolkit, used to cause chaos, extract information, or even as a smokescreen for other nefarious activities. In the realm of hacking, DDoS attacks play a significant role. They are a powerful means to an end, often used to divert attention away from the actual target or to create a gateway for additional attacks. By overwhelming a system's resources, hackers can exploit the ensuing chaos to sneak in undetected and achieve their real objective, be it data theft, system damage, or even cyber espionage. We also delved into the different types of DDoS attacks. We talked about volume-based attacks, which saturate the bandwidth of the targeted site, and protocol attacks, aiming at server resources. We also discussed application layer attacks, which target specific aspects of an application or service. Prevention, as the saying goes, is better than cure. This adage holds true for DDoS attacks. Businesses and individuals alike should take proactive measures to guard against these attacks. This includes implementing robust security systems, regularly updating and patching software, and educating oneself about the latest in cybersecurity. In this digital age, understanding DDoS attacks and their role in hacking is paramount. It's not just about knowing what they are, it's about understanding how they can affect you, your business, and the wider digital world. It's about staying one step ahead of the hackers. So remember, in the digital world, staying informed is our best defense against DDoS attacks.